we have gathered here to attend is like a ship without a compass. She answered as far as the human or infrastructure condition is concerned, but the number of discontent or depressed youth is increasing each day. This book shows how emotional
dilemmas of modern youth present teachers an opportunity to restore their significance. They need to actually delve upon the issue of morality, ethicality, dignity, and long-term happiness. An attempt has been made in the book to understand why traditional teachers are gradually becoming an endangered species. We strongly believe that teachers can show the way, guide the mindset, and state the destiny in their regime if they are able to unlock critical thinking and adhere to the basics of teaching. The overall purpose of this book is to arrive at overarching insights about education and its destination so as to attain the goal of effective teaching and ethical sensitive learning. So moving ahead, I now request our principal, Professor S.P. Agarwal, to felicitate our dignitaries, Shri Vengeshe Dorji Damdul and Professor A.P. Paji with the token of appreciation. With this, I now request you, sir, to welcome our dignitaries and say a few words to the audience.
Good afternoon and welcome to all the dignitaries, our friends. I can see Professor Nagpal here. What a surprise. Our retired professor, I can see some students here. Once again, I welcome you to this book launch function by our own Professor Tk Mishra. Our chief guest today, none other than Dorji Damdulji, the director, Tibet House, known to this institution for long. And he has been kind enough to accept our invitation for launching this book. Our guru, mentor, and friend, philosopher for this institution, Professor A.P. Padi, former Vice Chancellor, Brahmpur University, Odisha. He has been a constant source of inspiration and a guide to this institution. Today, when we say that we have A++ and the best college in Delhi University, I think most of the credit goes to him. So let us give him a big clap. We welcome you, sir. I also welcome Professor Tk Mishra. I welcome one student, Sparsh Saxena, who will be speaking to you from BSc Environmental Science. I also welcome my colleagues and students once again. Friends, this book, Ethics of Teaching. Well, see, basically, I will not speak what Professor Tk Mishra has written here. Of course, he is associated with this subject as long as from 2010, because when we set up Center for Ethics and Values on his demand, so he is constantly working on this topic. Today, not only he is bringing out a journal, he has done several seminars, he has done several courses. He is also running a course on happiness, which is quite connected to ethics and values. So he is into the subject. Of course, I cannot be as depth as he is. But you know, the kind of book he has written, Ethics of Teaching, which is very relevant for all of you, all of us, because we are into teaching. Basic job is teaching. And also the students who are learners, because they are the real raw material for us, and we have to shape them to face the challenges of modern world. So friends, the question is that how should we make the classroom lively? How should we make our student to sit and listen to the teacher and to follow the guiding principles or ethical principles or life skills, or we call it holistic education these days, the broader word. Now the whole onus is on us, whole onus is on the teacher. Now the question is that, one, we used to say that teachers are born, their qualities are born, but today we cannot say, because teaching has become a profession. Now it's a remunerative profession, and sometimes we do not come by choice into the teaching, but training can make you a good teacher. There is no question about that, and we have seen it and we have done it. This college itself, through Teaching Learning Center, has trained more than 150,000 teachers all over the country, and they are doing very good job. Now, but the question is that whether we would like to learn, like to listen, like to follow these principles. That is important, because most of us, those who are into teaching and learning, of course we are doing our job, but sometimes I feel that we are much more completing the formalities rather than doing the actual job, rather than doing the justice to our students, rather than thinking what students want. That is the question behind us. Now, this book can really motivate all of you to that guiding principle, that how we should deal with our students. Of course, if we are doing that justice, I think we have followed the principles of ethics in teaching. If we feel in our heart that we are doing a right kind of teaching, we are doing justice to my students, I think all principles are followed. Now let us go back to ancient time, Guru Shishya Parampara, which we always quote. We wanted to spread education to the world, and still we want that. Of course, we have been Vishwa Guru, but today we are losing that status day by day. But the vision of the government is to again make you Vishwa Guru. But how you can become a Vishwa Guru? That is the question. Not following the West, not following technology in itself, but doing some real work. Go back to your ancient time. The education, real education, was learning by doing. What we used to do in ashrams, even a king used to send his sons, daughters to the ashram for teaching and learning. What was that? That was to teach the life skills, to teach the ethical principles, to teach the moral principles, to teach the value education, to teach the how you behave yourself in every environment. So that was the teaching. Now, do you think today in these modern educational institutions we are doing that? Mishra ji has written in this book somewhere that technology cannot take over. Yes, I understand. but we cannot do much without technology today, because technology we have to mix with this knowledge of teaching and learning. You all know very well that so many things which we can do today because of technology, but right use of technology. In last 2 years during the pandemic, most of our young lot, they were stuck to the phones and the laptops, and they lost contact with the outside world. They lost contact to the play fields. They lost contact to the music. They lost contact to any activity. Now, that is a part of teaching learning. Now, unless until you play, unless until you do some activity, how can you say that you are a complete, you have got the complete education? See, the first learning, of course, again happens at home. But if you see that homes has also become, monotonous, because there is no families at homes. Only parents, they are working outside, and you are stuck to TV or some gadget. That's all. Now, some of you may be very brilliant, no doubt about it, going into IITs, Harvard, of course, but not getting the real education. You may be employed as CEOs or big companies, but you do not know how to lead a good life. You do not know how to value the families. You do not know how to value the other principles. That is the key. जैसे हमारे बड़े बूढ़े कहते थे, पढ़ा हुआ तो है पर गुना नहीं है. अब वो गुना कहां से आएगा, गुण कहां से आएंगे, वो प्रिंसिपल्स सीखने की जरूरत है, और वही एथिक्स ऑफ टीचिंग है. देखिए, सबके लिए मैं कह रहा हूं, अपने लिए भी कह रहा हूं, हमारे टीचर्स को बहुत ध्यान देने की जरूरत है. वो इस किताब को पढ़ें, सोचें, एनालाइज करें कि किस तरीके से क्लासरूम को लाइवली बनाना है, किस तरीके से बच्चों को हमें हर प्रिंसिपल सिखाना है जो कि वो नहीं सीख रहे हैं. दैट इज द की एलिमेंट जो हमें अभी निधि ने बोला था, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग, उसको डेवलप करना है, और वो भी एथिकली करना है. That is important. Of course, you mix the technology that is there. Now, another important thing which reminded me with this book is NEP 2020. If you see the broad principles of National Education Policy 2020, that is based on this. See what it talks about holistic education, it talks about flexibility, it talks about music, it talks about activities, it talks about sports, it talks about technology, it talks about research. So everything is there. Now, as a teacher, it is your job. It is your job to understand and apply that. See, even when you were student or I was student, there were few teachers where classes used to be full. Lot of students come from here and there. Okay, today is Dr. Ahuja's class. We will have to attend this. But why it is not happening today? Student is running away from the classroom. Except for attendance, he doesn't want to classroom. So what is the reason? Reason is that we are reading from the book and teaching that he does not want to understand. He has the internet, he will read it. So what new we are giving? These books are guiding principles, but you have to apply real life examples to your teaching and learning, and to your stories, to your whatever you want, you have an experience, share with them. Share some real examples. I always tell my students, if I go to any class, when they come to the college, please stroll for 5 kilometers around this campus, around Kalkaji or around Govindpuri, just on foot, no car, no bicycle. You will understand the real life. See, if learning has to happen, that will happen only outside. It is not in the classroom. Only classroom is a guiding principle. Whatever guiding principle given to you, just see and apply outside. You will learn what you wanted to learn. So with this, once again, thank you very much to our dignitaries and to all the audience which is here for release of this book. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words have always encouraged and motivated us to think and to stride ahead. Professor Tk Mishra is the senior most faculty member in the Department of Commerce, Ramanujan College. Along with being the director of Center for Ethics and Values, sir is also the director of a newly established society, which is the School of Happiness. He is also the editor of the peer-reviewed International Journal of Applied Ethics. I now request Professor Tk Mishra, sir, to come up on the stage and also share his experiences while writing the book. May we have a huge round of applause for him, please?
Gaishila Dorji Dandul, Professor Padi, Principal Agrawal, my publisher, Vijendra Sharma ji, my esteemed colleagues, and my dear students. I'll speak very short because basically I have come here to listen to people on the subject which is very close to my heart. Well, I'm so glad to see our principal overwhelmed with the ideas mentioned in the book. I must tell you, he is the true practitioner of these values. And values in action is only ethics. He has so much of motivational power, a brilliant leadership skill. Ethics has been behind all that, and he has been rewarded by A++ in this college. So with his effort, with his leadership style, he has benefited the entire fraternity of Ramanujan College. Well, eternal values translated into action and behavior. Universal values translated into action and behavior is ethics. Ethics is dharma. I remember Thomas Carlyle, he said, wonder is the basis of worship. And if wonder is the basis of worship, ethics is the basis of education. Ethics cannot be separated from education. Both are integral to each other. Well, experience teaches me that adherence to ethics gives you the best guarantee to ensure a lifelong satisfaction, lifelong peace, and glory. Ethics gives power to the teacher at heart. When I refer here, I'm talking about teacher at heart. You know, and it empowers every teacher Nowadays, teachers are feeling very weak. Students are going out of their control. They are no more as relevant as they were before. Power is diminishing. Impact is diminishing. A very serious concern for the society. Well, when I say ethics give you power, ethics gives you nature spaces, brings you closer to the nature, and you are benefited in terms of peace and tranquility. Because when you are pure at heart, you are as good as the trees, as the nature. So you come closer to the nature. You get power, emotional power, love, affection of the students, of the society, of your peers. When you are ethical, you get spiritual power. And when you get spiritual power, you are no less than the divine power. No one can beat you. No one can neglect you. No one can show disrespect to you. When you are ethical, you get power of truth, trust. You earn trustworthiness. The administrator trusts you, society trusts you, the student trusts you, your peers trust you. What else you want? Ethics is the panacea to all ills, solution to all problems, all dilemmas, all confusion, all delusions, and all your defilements, all your vices within. Once you are ethical, all these things are taken care of. Well, apart from ethics giving you a peace of mind, a glorious future, prosperity, ethics gives you ethical GPS. Now, what is ethical GPS? G stands for goodness mode. You are driven towards a goodness mode. G stands for guts, courage. मुझे याद है शील भद्र की दो पंक्तियां, और वो कहते थे, सच बोलने का जी तो चाहता है मगर हौसला नहीं होता. Unless you have courage, you cannot be honest, you cannot be ethical. So it empowers you in many ways, and your goodwill is enhanced. If you are ethical, your goodwill goes up. If you are ethical businessman also, your goodwill goes up. So goodwill, guts, growth of all your faculties, all these are taken care of. Yesterday we were talking about, we have a conversation series in this college. We were talking about how to develop gut foundation, courage, which we are missing these days. We are losing the ability to listen, to empathize, to read, okay, to make friends, everything. On all the quarters, we are losing the ability to be happy also we are losing. So we were talking upon that. P stands for patience, grit, grit power. P stands for purpose. You get a purpose of teaching. If you are adding values, if you are building character of students, you realize that yes, you are on the right track. Your life is meaningful. You are serving some right purpose for the society. Your morale is high and you are happy with your life. You enhance your life satisfaction, having a strong belief in ethics and values. Now S stands for security. If I'm meeting my class, if I'm doing all my duties rightly, who can punish me? No one can punish me. My professional life, my personal life is secured only by being ethical. If I'm not jumping the red light, no police person can challan me. It's so simple thing. So you earn security, you earn stability in life, work-life balance, balance between spiritual life and material life, balance between mind, body, and soul, stability, and then sustainability. The success has to sustain for a long time, not one-time affair. So GPS, this is the ethical GPS that we get by being ethical. Now, yesterday, Mithali Raj led our cricket team, women cricket team in 6th World Cup. She was the captain. She retired yesterday itself. And she wrote one sentence which has been covered in Indian Express yesterday itself. And she says that the best way to be successful is to be fearless. The best way to be successful is fearless. How can you be fearless? It is ethics only which can make you fearless, flawless, and flourishing also. So we can see so many benefits of being ethical. And when I talked about, eternal joy, ethics gives you eternal joy. In today's newspaper only, I read Confucius saying that with coarse rice to eat, coarse rice is called mota chawal, with coarse rice to eat, with water to drink, and my bent arm for pillow, I have still joy among all these things. That is eternal joy. You're not dependent upon external things. Whatever little you have, you enjoy, you can enjoy. Okay? And that is what our gurus earlier, in dhoti kurta, they used to feel plenteousness, okay? No demand, no complaint, a highest status, okay? So that is the thing which we are missing. Our principal has emphasized in so many words the usefulness of these principles. He has shown in black and white that having belief in these things, he was the one who inspired me to set up Center for Ethics and Values, and constant support. Whether I was organizing international seminars, he never let me down. Whatever money was required, whatever support was required. I published 7 international journals. Somebody asked me, where from you get funding for these things? I said, our principal. So what I mean to say is that we have immense benefit out of being, ethical. We are a strong person, elevated person. We are in great demand by the society. We get love and affection from the students. We serve right purpose, and we reach the height of our glory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Today, we are extremely privileged to have with us our chief guest for today, Vengeshe Dorji Damdul, Director, Tibet House, New Delhi. Sir is currently the director at Tibet House, Cultural Center of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In the year 1988, Sir joined the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, Dharmshala, for formal studies in Buddhist logic, philosophy, and epistemology. After 15 years in Buddhist philosophy, he finished his PhD degree. In the year 2003, the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama sent him to Cambridge University, England for proficiency English studies. He has been a visiting fellow at Girton College, Cambridge University. Sir has also written a number of important papers for international and national conferences held in University of Delhi, and so on and so forth. In the year 2011, Sir was one of the chief experts to design the syllabus of BA and MA course on Tibetan studies as part of the IGNU program. Apart from holding the responsibility of being the director at Tibet House, Sir also gives regular lectures and many other places like universities, colleges. He has also traveled within India and abroad as well to deliver speeches and lectures on Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist psychology, logic, and practice. We are extremely privileged to have you amidst us, sir. I now request you to give your address. May we have a huge round of applause for him, please?
Thank you so much for this kind introduction. And the former Vice Chancellor and the Principal of Ramanujan College and Vice Principal of Ramanujan College. And I also came to know that there are a number of the professors here and also students. In fact, if I'm not wrong, this is my 3rd time here in this hall. And it's always a great joy. And so given that this book by Professor Tk Mishra ji is on ethics in teaching. So for this, you may be wondering, or you may already know, or you may suppose you know that number 1, what is ethics? Number 2, why do we need ethics? And so forth. There, what happened was that you may be wondering how Professor Tk Mishra came in contact with a Buddhist monk. This may be your question. In fact, it so happened that I don't even today, I don't know how Professor the Tk Mishra ji came to Tibet House with his bunch of students. And you wouldn't believe, the first day of our meeting, we already decided for this ethics conclave to be jointly organized by Ramanujan College under the Center for Ethics and Values and Tibet House. And I was even today, I'm so mesmerized, fascinated. How come that two of us, just on the first meeting, we came up with such the noble decision? Okay, with this in mind, just for your very quick, the intro for myself, while our moderator so kindly introduced many things. In fact, you may be wondering that he was born as a monk. No, like you. Then went to school. And particularly when I was in class 9, 10, 11, 12, for 4 years, I was thinking of becoming a physicist.
Of his responsibilities, away from our responsibilities.
Here, there is teaching. There's always somebody who knows more than you. With admiration, you like to learn, you become a student. So this is a reality that we need to keep in mind. With this, to make it very short, number one, what is ethics? Number two, why do we need it? Just imagine if there is a family, for example, say, when I enter the Ramanujan College, the campus, so on the board, you see that there are so many rules, regulations are there. So you have to do this, do's and don'ts. Do you think that in a cordial family, you enter into the house and you see the rules, regulations? Do you find anything of this kind? In a cordial family, in a very cozy, warm family, you never find it. There's another principle. Instead of demanding ethics, ethics is actually to govern the people and to govern the institution in a nice way, in a favorable way. And in this family, you don't think ethics, you don't need that. There's nothing of this kind. There's no rules, regulations. Say, when a child is feeling hungry at lunch, let's say 2 p.m., they say 12 p.m. The child is hungry at 3 o'clock, the mother will give food. Nobody will say there is no time for food. So here, there's a principle there which governs this family so well that if you can mimic this principle on the college level, university level, institution level, and the national level, and the international level, we don't need ethics. In other words, it is a system to govern the particular institution and particular individual. So with this in mind, tell me, what is that secret? What is that principle which governs that family so well? There's no conflict at all. It's nothing but a feeling of genuine feeling of compassion and love. In other words, the ground for ethics is the genuine concern of love and affection. When this is missing, ethics is gone. It becomes a hardcore rules, regulations. And nobody wants to abide by the rules and regulations if it is imposed on you. Whereas when there's genuine love and affection, ethics flow very naturally. So with this in mind, I'd like to share with you one anecdote as to what exactly does mean by ethics. For example, say the professors here there. And you may be wondering that, oh, in my class, there are students, some are so good, and I would really like these students. And some, they're very mischievous. And you just wish that these students who are very mischievous, that you can kick them out. If this is your attitude, you are not a good teacher. And ethics is gone. Ethics doesn't mean that, say, okay, you're a good student, so I like to teach you. And you are not really a good student. I don't want to teach you. Get out. If this is your attitude, this is wrong. So I like to share in a small school, I give a talk on, say, teaching. And after the talk, one of the teachers, a lady teacher, she asked me, sir, but there are some students, just the presence of the student makes you feel, oh no. So how should we deal with these students? And then I said, this is a test of you being a good teacher or a bad teacher. A good teacher is a teacher who can manage these students, who initially, day one of the Ramanujan College opening, the student is such that it makes the teacher, oh no. And the last day the student graduates, the teacher should miss that student. If this is what you can do, you prove to be a great teacher. So with this, I'll like to share a small anecdote. I'll stop here. I was asked to teach philosophy to a group of students from America, and all Tibetan students born there, brought up there, and who came here for a summer camp. Group of students, ranging from age 6 through to age 19. So I split the group into two, smaller students and the elders. And in the group of the smaller students, there was one boy who was exceptionally mischievous and naughty and rebellious. And he was always sitting, you all know, backbencher. He was a backbencher. And I asked the students to copy something from the blackboard. And this student at the back, he was just sitting so idly and happy, not writing anything. I cannot go there. I don't know what is the system here. Perhaps Professor Tk Mishra or somebody else can share with me later on that American students, a teacher is not supposed to confront the student directly. So I should be very skillful. What I did, the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, he knew that, okay, now he's coming to me. Finally, I was there. Oh, you're not writing anything down. He said, sir, I lost my pen. Then what I did, I put my hand in my bag to take out extra pen. And the girl who was sitting before this boy, this girl was the best student in that batch. And this girl said, sir, he's telling lies. He has a pen in his bag. What should I do now? You as teachers, tell me, what should I do? If I put my hand in his bag, no doubt I'm going to get a pen. But what should I do? Should I put my hand in his bag to take out his pen and then say that you are a liar? Get out. I'll report you to the principal. This is my choice. Or that was in my hand. Now look, this is the testimony. In my mind, it went so fast. Two options. One, to take the words of this girl very seriously, because this girl is the best student in that batch. Other, to trust this boy. Two things, I have to work so fast. And what came to my mind was that this boy, being the most naughty one here, no doubt he's not getting any love and affection from anyone. I'm sure you will agree with me. Whereas this boy is still a very young boy, young child. He requires love, affection. So how can I expect a child to grow well without love and affection? Be the reason, be himself be the reason, or something else be the reason. After all, he's not getting love and affection from others. Whereas this girl, being the best child, being the best student in this batch, he's getting love and affection from everyone. So why should I have to give extra love to this girl? Why should I not give love to this boy? So what I did is that I continued to put my hand in my bag, took out a pen and gave to this boy. And then he reluctantly started to write. The next day, again, they were all very young. So I know that the attention span of these young children is maximum like 15 minutes. And I had to pretend as though like, I expect you to listen to me for 1 hour. Otherwise, if I say that 15 minutes is your attention span, that remaining 4 or 5 minutes, they will not pay attention to me. So I pretended as though like I'm expecting 1 hour attention from them. And then after 15, 20 minutes, attention loss disappeared. And I told them that whether you listen to me or not is up to you. At the end of the day, I will ask questions to the students. If you cannot give the answer, then you cannot go for break, recess time. And all those who can give answers will go. And then the bell rang for the recess. And then all the boys and girls, they were raising their hands because they want to go for the short break. And I asked one by one, nobody couldn't give the answer correctly. Finally, this naughty boy raised his hands. And inside me, what was going in my mind? Even the best of the students could not give the answer. So in my mind, how can you give the answer? But I cannot say this. This is, say, the number one school. Number two is following the American system. So I asked the question, and believe it or not, he was the one who gave full answer. And believe it or not, he was not in the last row. He was in the first row. I did not notice that. And at that point, I realized that, wow, overnight change. He gave all the answers to the question so well. And I said, wow, that's amazing. Deep inside me, another thought came in me. You made my day. Thank you so much. And then I said, okay, now you can leave for your break. And the boy, he packed the books and put them in the bag. And he did not leave the classroom. He just stayed at the door, leaning against the door like this. Okay, listen, this is so important, particularly the teachers, that this student leaning against the door, not leaving the class, this is not the sign of disrespect to the teacher. This is a sign of affection, confidence, and love for the teacher. So then the other students were asking, they were raising their hands. I asked questions to them. And where the students cannot give the answers, all the answers are coming from this boy, from the door. He was supplementing all of them with the correct answers. Believe it or not, overnight change. This change was not because that I dictated on him. It was the love, respect that I gave. He sensed that, and the love and respect changed the system. So that made him ethical. I should, as my ethics as a student is to listen to the teacher and make him happy. And he did it, he succeeded. There's love, and in other words, love and affection should be at the core of ethics. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights about ethics and the experiences. So today we have with us a first-year student from BSc Honors Environmental Science. His name is Mr. Sparsh Saxena, and he would like to share his thoughts and expressions about ethics. So we can have a huge round of applause for him, please.
हेलो। तो सबसे पहले मैं केस स्टडी से स्टार्ट करना चाहूंगा। ये केस स्टडी ऑथर जिम क्विक की है। ऑथर बताते हैं, एक इंसिडेंट के बारे में बताते हैं ऑथर। तो ऑथर कह रहे थे कि एक नॉर्मल दिन की तरह टीचर नॉर्मली क्लास को पढ़ा रही थी। तो टीचर ऐसे पढ़ा रही थी, सारे बच्चे पढ़ रहे थे, और एकदम से क्या हुआ, खिड़की से फायर ब्रिगेड की आवाज आने लगी, फायर ब्रिगेड की गाड़ी की। तो सारे बच्चे जो थे वो भागते भागते चले गए, अरे फायर ब्रिगेड की गाड़ी आ गई, देखो देखो। मतलब बच्चों को बहुत ही फैसिनेटिंग लगता है कि किस तरीके से ये रियल सुपर हीरोज होते हैं। उनके पास तोप होती है, कितनी स्पीड से प्रेशर के साथ वो मतलब पानी पूरी बिल्डिंग को धो दो, बहुत बढ़िया, ऐसे ही करो। तो मतलब वो बचपना जो होता है। तो जो ऑथर थे, ऑथर जिम क्विक, उन्हें भी सुपर हीरोज के बारे में सुनना, उनके फेवरेट जो सुपर हीरो थे वो थे एक्समैन। तो वो भी गए, लेकिन ऑथर दुबले पतले से थे, वो हट्टे कट्टे, वो क्लासमेट्स की तरह नहीं थे। तो पूरी क्लास एकदम जैसे ही भागी वो डेस्क पे चढ़ गई और ऑथर नहीं चढ़ पाए, वो सबसे पीछे रह गए। वो कहते रहे, अरे हटो ना यार, मेरे को भी देखना है यार, मेरे साइड हो यार, साइड हो। तो ऑथर को भी देखना था किस तरीके से वो स्पीड से, प्रेशर से वो पानी की मशीन तोप से ऐसे मार रहे हैं। तो ऑथर हड़बड़ाहट में, जल्दबाजी में ऐसे चढ़ गए, फटाफट ऐसे ऊपर करके चढ़ गए। लेकिन ये इंसिडेंट एक एक्सीडेंट में कन्वर्ट हो गया। उनका पैर स्लिप किया और वो ऐसे पीठ के बल गिरे, और मतलब उनके रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन ने भी उन्हें ऐसे बचाने की कोशिश की। लेकिन जो डेस्क था, उस डेस्क का कोना उनके सर के उस पार्ट पे लगा जिसने इस इंसिडेंट को एक एक्सीडेंट में कन्वर्ट कर दिया। अब एक्सीडेंट क्या था, सर में चोट लगने की वजह से वो जिस तरीके से पढ़ पा रहे थे, चीजों को समझ पा रहे थे, अब वो सेम अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सेम मेमोरी, सेम रीडिंग अब नहीं रही। अब उन्होंने ऑब्जर्व किया कि अब जब टीचर्स ऐसे बच्चों को पढ़ने के लिए बोल रहे हैं कि बेटा पोएम रीड करो, तुम पहली लाइन रीड करोगे, जब वो बच्चा खत्म हो जाएगा, फुल स्टॉप करेगा, फिर तुम पढ़ोगे, फिर ऐसे ऐसे चलेगी, फिर ऐसे ऐसे यहाँ पे खत्म हो जाएगी पोएम। तो जब ऑथर की बीच में बारी आती थी तो ऑथर ने ऑब्जर्व किया कि अरे मैं तो पढ़ ही नहीं पा रहा, पहले तो बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ पा रहा था, मैम पढ़ा रही है, पहले तो मैं बहुत अच्छे से समझ पा रहा था, मैम कैसे पढ़ा रही है, अब मैं बिल्कुल भी नहीं समझ पा रहा। सेम टीचर, सेम मैं, क्या हो गया भाई? तो बेसिकली उनकी जो स्किल्स थी रीडिंग की, अंडरस्टैंडिंग की, लर्निंग की, वो सब जीरो हो गई, जीरो। और ये इंसिडेंट है जब ऑथर 4th क्लास में थे। फिर ऑथर ने क्या किया, 3 से 4 साल अपने आप को झोंक दिया, अपने आप को पूरा डिवोट कर दिया कि मतलब ऐसा क्या था, मतलब मैंने कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया था, अब मैं फिर से स्टार्ट करूंगा फुल मोटिवेशन के साथ। उन्होंने फिर से वो जर्नी स्टार्ट की। 3 से 4 साल उन्होंने पूरी मेहनत करी और एटलीस्ट मतलब 4 साल के बाद वो उस स्तर पे आ गए कि हाँ अब वो अच्छे से रीड कर पा रहे थे, अंडरस्टैंड कर पा रहे थे, मेमोराइज कर पा रहे थे, अब वो बिल्कुल पहले की तरह हो गए थे। लेकिन उनके साथ फिर से एक ऐसा इंसिडेंट हुआ जो एक्सीडेंट में कन्वर्ट हो गया। वो क्या था, वो लाइब्रेरी से ऐसे उतर रहे थे, सीढ़ियों से पैर उनका ऐसे फिसला और सीढ़ी के कोने पे उनका सर फिर से लगा धम। दूसरे पार्ट पे लगा, सेम पार्ट पे नहीं, लेकिन इस एक्सीडेंट के बाद वो फिर से वहीं पे आ गए जिस फर्स्ट एक्सीडेंट के बाद वो आए थे, यानी कि फिर से ब्लैंक, जीरो। जो 3 से 4 साल उन्होंने मेहनत की थी वापस वो चीजें सीखने के लिए कि पढ़ते कैसे हैं, रीड कैसे करते हैं, मेमोराइज कैसे करते हैं, तो ये सब सीखने के बाद वो फिर से जीरो पे आ गए। फिर से अब मैम बोल रही थी उन्हें कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था, पढ़ नहीं पा रहे थे, जैसे तारे जमीन पे ईशान को वो अल्फाबेट्स ऐसे उड़ते हुए दिख रहे थे, बिल्कुल सेम ऐसा ऑथर ने अपनी बुक में लिखा है। तो ऑथर बताते हैं कि उस 4 साल के बाद मतलब ये इतनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम थी मेरी लाइफ की, अब मेरे को फिर से जीरो से स्टार्ट करना था, फिर से जीरो से। तो सारी मेहनत पे पानी फिरने के बाद फिर ऑथर ने अपने आप को ध्यान से ऑब्जर्व किया, ऑथर ने कुछ चेंजेस किए अपने आप में। अब ऑथर ने जहां से स्टार्ट किया वो चीज ऐसी थी, अब उन्होंने पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया कि पढ़ते कैसे हैं, उन्होंने सीखना स्टार्ट किया कि सीखते कैसे हैं। टीचर मेरे को कह रही है कि ध्यान दो ध्यान दो, लेकिन उस टीचर ने मेरे को कभी ये नहीं बताया कि ध्यान देते कैसे हैं। टीचर इज सेइंग कि बेटा कॉन्सेंट्रेट करो ना, फोकस करो ना, लेकिन टीचर ने कभी सिखाया नहीं कि फोकस करते कैसे हैं, कॉन्सेंट्रेट करते कैसे कैसे हैं। बिल्कुल जैसे 3 इडियट में, सर इंजीनियरिंग तो आपको मेरे से बेहतर आती है, मैं तो आपको ये सिखा रहा था कि पढ़ाते कैसे हैं। सो ऑल दैट कैसे 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 कैसे, फोकस कैसे करते हैं, कॉन्सेंट्रेट कैसे करते हैं, रीड कैसे करते हैं, लर्न कैसे करते हैं, अंडरस्टैंड कैसे करते हैं, उस पूरी कैसे की लिस्ट ऑथर ने लिखी बैठ के और उस पे फोकस किया, पूरा ये सीखा। और ये सब सीखने के बाद आज ऑथर इस स्तर पे आ गए हैं, ही इज नाउ इंटरनेशनल लाइफ कोच, और बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज ऑफ इलॉन मस्क एंड रिचर्ड ब्रांसन को वो ट्रेनिंग देते हैं अबाउट द कंप्लीट माइंड मैनेजमेंट, और किस तरीके से अपने इस माइंड को हाईली एफिशिएंट वे में आप उसे यूज कर सकते हो। सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट केस स्टडी बाय ऑथर जिम क्विक इन हिज बुक लिमिटलेस। किस तरीके से माइंड को हम उस तरीके से अनलॉक करें कि वो लिमिटलेस हो जाए। Now, the second and the last point which I would love to cover is from this international bestseller book, The Mindset by author Dr. Carol S. Dweck. इसमें ऑथर हमें 2 तरीके के पेरेंट और टीचर के बारे में बताते हैं। एक उन पेरेंट जो जिनका माइंडसेट बहुत ही फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट होता है, और एक वो पेरेंट्स, वो टीचर्स जिनका जो माइंडसेट होता है वो ग्रोथ माइंडसेट का होता है। ऑथर बताते हैं कि ऐसा कौन सा डिफरेंस है, कि वो क्या ढंग है, वो क्या स्टाइल है, कि ये जो पेरेंट्स है, ये जो टीचर्स है, जिस वे में ये बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, पूरी क्लास को पढ़ा रहे हैं, तो इनके वे में क्या डिफरेंस होता है, और इन वाले टीचर्स, इन वाले पेरेंट्स की टीचिंग स्टाइल में क्या डिफरेंस होता है। द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द काउंसलिंग डन बाय द पेरेंट्स एंड टीचर्स विद द फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट एंड द ग्रोथ माइंडसेट। हम ऐसा क्या करें कि ये जो गैप है फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट और ग्रोथ माइंडसेट का, ये जो गैप है ये खत्म हो जाए। तो ऑथर बताते हैं, एक एग्जांपल के थ्रू बताता हूँ। एक बच्चा जिसने मार्क्स मतलब पेपर में बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स स्कोर करके लाया, पापा मैं बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स लाया हूँ, ये देखो मेरी आंसर शीट देखो पापा, ये देखो मैम ने मेरे को स्माइली दी है, 5 स्टार दिया मैम ने, 5 स्टार पहली बार। तो जो पेरेंट है विद द फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट, वो अपने बच्चे को प्रेज और अप्रिशिएट इस तरीके से, इस ढंग से करेगा, अरे बेटा मैं जानता था तुम बहुत होशियार हो, तुम बहुत समझदार हो, मैं जानता हूं तुम बचपन से ऐसे ही हो, अरे तुम मेरे बेटे हो मेरे, तुम जानते नहीं हो कि दादा मैं मतलब पढ़ाई में कितने अच्छे थे, तुम्हारे अंदर हमारा खून है, हमारा रक्त है। सो दिस इज द पेरेंटिंग और द टीचिंग डन बाय दिस पेरेंट विद अ फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट। तो अब ग्रोथ माइंडसेट वाले पेरेंट कैसे करते हैं भाई? तो जो ग्रोथ माइंडसेट वाले पेरेंट होते हैं वो इसी सिचुएशन को इस तरीके से हैंडल करते हैं कि जब बेटा आता पापा पापा मैंने ना बहुत ही अच्छा मार्क्स लाया हूं मैं इस पेपर में, देखो 5 स्टार दिए मैम ने और स्माइली भी बनाई है। तो पापा बोलते बहुत बढ़िया बेटा, मैं जानता था कि तुम अगर अपनी पूरी शिद्दत के साथ अपने आप को अगर तुम पूरा झोंक दोगे, अपने पूरे फुल फोकस और फुल कंसंट्रेशन के साथ क्लास में बैठोगे और जो टीचर पढ़ा रही है अपने फुल फोकस हाइपर फोकस के साथ वो चीज वो स्किल्स लर्न करने में अपने आप को झोंकोगे, तो जैसे तुम्हारे सामने ये रिजल्ट है बिल्कुल ऐसा ही आएगा। तो डिफरेंस क्या है दोनों में, दोनों की पेरेंटिंग में, दोनों की टीचिंग स्टाइल में डिफरेंस क्या है? एप्रिशिएट दोनों ने किया, प्रेज दोनों ने किया, लेकिन प्रेज और एप्रिशिएट करने के बाद उन्होंने जो रीजन दिया, वो जो क्यों की का फिल इन द ब्लैंक फिल किया, उसमें कमी थी। जो फर्स्ट केस में आप पेरेंट को देख रहे हो, उन्होंने अप्रिशिएट किया, अरे तुमने बहुत अच्छा स्कोर किया, क्योंकि जो फिल इन द ब्लैंक किया वो फिल इन द ब्लैंक था क्योंकि तुम बहुत समझदार हो, बहुत होशियार हो, तुम जन्म से ऐसे हो, तुम मेरे बेटे हो, तुम्हारे अंदर मेरा खून है, मेरा रक्त है। तो यानी कि ये सारे वो फैक्टर्स की लिस्ट है जिसका रिमोट कंट्रोल उस बच्चे के हाथ में नहीं है। अगर वो बच्चा कभी फेल हो जाएगा या उसके मार्क्स कम आएंगे तो वो कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा, अरे मेरे अंदर तो पापा का खून था, क्या हो गया भाई। वो चाह कर भी उस इन सारे फैक्टर्स को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता, ये सारे जेनेटिक फैक्टर्स है, वो चाह के भी कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाएगा। लेकिन इस केस में जो पापा थे उन्होंने बोला कि तुमने इतना अच्छा इसलिए स्कोर किया है क्योंकि, तो जो फिल इन द ब्लैंक फिल किया, क्योंकि तुमने अपने आप को पूरा झोंक दिया था, पूरा डिवोट किया था, फोकस के साथ पढ़ रहे थे, कंसंट्रेशन के साथ पढ़ रहे थे। मैं देख रहा था रात में किस तरीके से तुम सारे डिस्ट्रैक्शन को हटाकर, फोन हटाकर एक बंद कमरे में पढ़ रहे थे। तो ये सारे वो फैक्टर्स की लिस्ट है जिसका रिमोट कंट्रोल उस बच्चे के हाथ में है। कभी भी नेक्स्ट टाइम उस बच्चे के मार्क्स कम हो गए, उसे पता होगा अरे कमी इन चीजों में रही होगी और मैं इसे चेंज कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि ये रिमोट कंट्रोल मेरे हाथ में है। सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस। तो अगर आप कभी भी पेरेंट बनने वाले हो या पेरेंट हो तो ये आपको एक डिफरेंस पता होना चाहिए, द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द काउंसलिंग डन बाय टीचर्स और पेरेंट्स with a fixed mindset and with a growth mindset. So this is the gap and this is how you can fill it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sparsh. I would now invite one of the senior most teachers, Shri Jagannath Chaudhary sir, to also come up on the stage and share his views on the ethics of teaching. May we have a huge round of applause for him, please?
Thank you, Nidhi, for inviting me. I was not expecting that I'll come over here and speak to you. It's really a great pleasure, the commendable job undertaken by Professor Tk Mishra. After teaching for a very long period of 40 years, at the time of his retirement, he has come out with a precious jewel which will be useful to all our teaching all over India or maybe all over the world, because such books are very rare. Nobody has, ever, thought of writing a book on teaching, that too on the ethics of teaching. What is ethics? Ethics is your inner voice. Ethics is your inner strength. Ethics is your inner, command. When you are teaching, it's not that you are simply coming and read out the text. You want to impart all sorts of knowledge relating to the subject. When you come to a classroom, always be prepared with a mindset that it's not that I'm just imparting a textual education to my student. Rather, I'm going to give him enough strength, enough confidence, enough determination, and not to feel guilty, so that after passing out from an institution or from the college, he will come out successful in his life and be something. And that will be our, achievement. It's not the student is achieving. Achievement of the student is my achievement. So as Professor S.P. Agrawal said, now teaching has become a profession. That's really very, 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 very disheartening. Once you come to the teaching profession, we come with a determination, with a mindset that you are going to impart knowledge to the people. What is teaching? Yajana, yadana, adhyayana, adhyapan. ज्ञान का आहरण, ज्ञान का वितरण, अध्ययन करना और अध्यापन करना. इसी माइंडसेट के साथ अगर आप आते हैं तो यू आर ए टीचर. यूपीएससी नहीं हुआ, टीचर बन गए. और कोई प्रोफेशन में सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुए, टीचर हो गए, तो वो चीज कहाँ से आएगी? मैं अगर क्लासरूम में जाता हूँ ये सोच के कि प्रोफेसर एसपी अग्रवाल ने किसी को मॉनिटर करने के लिए भेजा है, ये क्लास ले रहा है कि नहीं, अगर इसी माइंडसेट से गया तो मैं बच्चों को क्या पढ़ाऊंगा? और यू मस्ट चूज ए प्रोफेशन which suits your temperament. If you really like teaching, or if you really get some satisfaction out of teaching, then come to teaching job. And ethics, I told you, it is a moral, mystical, metaphysical concepts. It guides you, it gives you inner strength. As Professor Tk Mishra said, that ethics is what? This is your strength. It makes you fearless, it makes you flawless. That's really great. And now the question is, who has written this book? Professor Tk Mishra. Many people writing the books, but I know him since 1982 when we were hostel mates. He's an honest, upright person, got a wonderful flair for teaching, and successfully completed 40 years in teaching job. And you can better understand, he wants to give away something. He is the director of Center for Ethics and Values. He is the director of School of Happiness. He has chosen some sort of areas which suit his temperament, and he did very well. And a journal which is of international importance, he authored that. Now I'm very much happy, but I would like to make few suggestions. That the moment he established the Center for Ethics and Values, he made few visits to UPSC, met with the director, and he convinced him that how ethics is important right at this moment when the very ethical standards are waning away. And the UPSC chairman was convinced, and they started, a compulsory paper on ethics. That is a great achievement. Give him a big round of applause for that. So, with this view in mind, I suggested that why not we shall write to the BA, education faculty and to NCRT that it must be included in their text. It will be of great use, and when the teaching has become only a profession, this book is certainly going to guide them how to be ethically correct and how to be ethically sound while you are teaching to the younger generation. So ये मेरा दो suggestion है मिश्रा जी के लिए. इस मामले में हम कोशिश करेंगे कि ये जो किताब है जो लिखा है ये जन जन तक पहुंचे, टीचिंग कम्युनिटी तक पहुंचे और इससे हमारे शिक्षकों को प्रेरणा मिले. अब ज्यादा नहीं बोलूंगा, एक छोटा सा एक हाई एथिकल स्टैंडर्ड का एक छोटा सा किस्सा सुना के आपसे विदा लूंगा. एक टीचर जो है इसका माइंडसेट देखिए कैसा है. एक टीचर क्लासरूम में आता है, चौक से लिखना पड़ता है ब्लैक बोर्ड में, हाथ गंदा हो जाएगा, घड़ी खराब हो जाएगी, घड़ी निकालता है, टेबल पे रखता है, ब्लैक बोर्ड पे कुछ लिख रहे हैं. तभी पियोन आया, बोला सर आपको एक सिग्नेचर करना है. तो टीचर आता है, उस पर सिग्नेचर करके जो वापस जाता है देखता है कि घड़ी गायब. ऑब्वियसली किसी स्टूडेंट्स ने उठाया होगा, बाहर से तो कोई आया नहीं. तो टीचर ने क्या किया, सब स्टूडेंट्स को बोला खड़े हो जाओ, अपना अपना स्कार्फ निकालो, अपने आंखों पे पट्टी बांध लो. सब बच्चों ने वैसे किया. Then he made a fanatical search. Finally got his watch from the pocket of a student. एक स्टूडेंट्स के पॉकेट से निकला, घड़ी मिल गई, पॉकेट में रखा, फिर बोला बच्चों स्कार्फ खोल दो, इज फाइन. And again we started the class, went away. After so many years, when he got retired, he was, returning home, he was very much tired. एक public function है, वहाँ एक चेयर पे बैठ जाते हैं. तो मंच से एक मंत्री नीचे उतर के प्रणाम करते हैं, गुरुजी आपने मुझे पहचाना? बेटा नहीं पहचाना, बहुत दिन हो गए, आंखें भी धुंधला हो गया है। तो सर मैं वही हूं जो आपकी घड़ी चोरी की थी और आपने मुझे सबके सामने जलील नहीं किया। अगर आप जलील करते आज मैं मंत्री नहीं बन पाता, हो सकता है घर में मुझे भगा देते, मारते पीटते, सोसाइटी में मेरी इज्जत चली जाती। आपने मुझे ऐसा जलील होने नहीं दिया, आज मैं इस पोजीशन में हूं। तो टीचर कहते अच्छा तुम वो थे, तुम थे? कहता सर आपको कैसे नहीं पता, आपने तो सर्च करके निकाला। कहा बेटा मैंने भी अपनी आंखों में पट्टी बांध ली थी, ताकि मुझे भी पता ना चले, ना तुम ह्यूमिलेट हो बेटे, ना मुझे पता चले मेरा एक स्टूडेंट ऐसा है। इसीलिए मैंने अपनी आंखों में पट्टी बांध ली थी। दिस इज द हाई स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ एथिकल वैल्यूज। एक टीचर का सोच देखिए, उसकी हाई एथिकल स्टैंडर्ड्स को देखिए, शायद हमें भी इनसे सीखना है। आज आपके सामने प्रस्तुत किया। थैंक यू वेरी मच। आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट। प्रोफेसर टीके मिश्रा।
Thank you so much, sir. Today we have with us Professor A.P. Padi, sir, former Vice Chancellor, Behrampur University, Odisha. Sir, your CV was running into 9 pages, so we have tried to curtail it down. So briefly speaking, Padi sir is a former member of the Executive Committee of the NAC Bangalore and presently a member of governing body of Madhya Pradesh Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya. He has visited several universities, including in the USA, and has produced more than 30 PhD scholars. Sir has also done assessment in 150 colleges and 20 universities. We welcome you, sir. I now request you to also share your thoughts about this topic. May we have a huge round of applause for him, please?
Worthy principal of this college, Professor Agrawal, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Tk Mishra, teacher colleagues of this great institution, and student friends. See, this is my formal meeting after your NAC assessment, so I take this opportunity in conveying our congratulations to the principal, all teachers, all students, all stakeholders in bringing this glory to this institution. Now, this is success, and ethics takes you to success. All our ancient scriptures briefly summarize, because I will not speak more than 5 to 10 minutes, in 2 small sentences. Tamasogama Jyotirgamaya. Take me from darkness to light. Number 2. Dhiyo Jono Prachodayat. Kindly illuminate my intellect. So ethics will take you from darkness to light. It is ethics which will enlighten your intellect. Because we are all dry intellectuals. And how it can be done? Professor Mishra has already told you, ethics means values in action. Long back, Sage Patanjali said, in the Iron Age, people would be physically weak, mentally not very strong. So he advised,
that out of many virtues, running more than hundreds, if one can practice 5 virtues only out of 100, then he will be successful in life. And it is ethics which will help you in practicing these 5 virtues. They are, you know, I am just refreshing your memory: truth, non-violence, purity of mind, asteya, aprigraha. You have recently seen Nupur Sharma could not have control over her tongue. I was telling your principal, your tongue is 3.5 inches long, but it is how more powerful than AK-47. The entire world is now dancing to this statement, reacting. This is self-control. This is ethics. If you don't have self-control, how can you succeed in life? And how you are going to practice this? Your student friend, he has already spoken how it can be practiced. Practice is key. And how one can have practice? It is also given. Practice should be continuous, without any break. That is continuity. Number 2, practice should be in the same time, as far as possible and practicable. Timing remaining the same. Practice should be in the same place, in the playground where you are playing, same playground. Don't change the place, don't change the time. Conceptually, we say, in ethical terms, constancy, continuity, and remembrance. I repeat, constancy, continuity, and remembrance. These are 3 concepts which will help you in getting success. I will give you one example. You are taking your food ordinarily, let us say at 12 noon every day. Please try sometimes. Take your food at 3 p.m. and see the difference. See the difference. The difference is when you are taking regularly your food at 12 noon, saliva is coming, juice is coming, which will help you in digestion. If you are taking at 3 p.m., saliva will not come. It will not digest. That means constancy. That is the meaning of constancy. No change. Particularly, it is meant for students. Ethics will take you to success. Professor Mishra has given you 2 keywords, values: patience and perseverance. Patience and perseverance. If you have self-control, you will have patience. Perseverance means, again, continuity. Many failures may come, but ultimately you will be successful. So, when I say at the beginning, you have ethics will take you from darkness to light, because light is there inside you. You are, each one of you is light of lights. But unfortunately, there is a cover. A cover is there. So you are in darkness. All of us are in darkness. And you remove the darkness, you will enjoy the light. Once you remove the darkness, you are successful. And how you remove the darkness, you know, again, it is practice. Not only says Patanjali has said, But also Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, while explaining to Arjuna, has said, well, you can control your mind through practice. All our 18 Puranas, you read, take up anyone, Mahabharata, when in battlefield, if one weapon fails, second weapon comes, if second fails, third comes, third fails, fourth comes. But it preceded with long practice. I was just speaking to a principal that after the battle between Lord Ram and Ravana failed, and Ravana was on the final phase of leaving this world, Lord Ram went to him to learn good governance. And he requested Ravana, I have come here to learn from you good governance. How your Lanka was so beautiful a city, and there was prosperity, enjoyment. How it was possible? Ravana said, Lord Ram, what can I teach you good governance? However, since you are asking, he said, I wanted to construct a ladder to heaven. Number one, I wanted to close the gate to hell so that nobody will go to hell. Number three, I wanted to convert the sea water into sweet water. I could have done any one of these. I had the strength. I had the courage. But I kidnapped your wife. So what message? You are not ethical. Ravana was not ethical. So even if you have everything minus ethics, you are likely to end in failure. This is the importance of ethics. Take another example. M.S. Rebadev, a founder of Oberoi group of hotels. He was jobless, penniless, friendless, came to Simla. At that time, that hotel was run by a Britisher. He was kicked out. Second time went, kicked out. Third time, somehow he could manage to meet the manager. And the manager said, there is no vacancy. Only one vacancy part-time is there. If you're interested, we'll give it to you. And what is that? No, can you supply warm water to all the rooms in bucket at 4 a.m. from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. so that the guests who are there inside your room, they will take bath. You know Simla in winter. He supplied. He said, yes. I don't like to linger this story, and you know how successful he was. That is practice. World famous, second civilian award was given to him. So, when I said that ethics will take you to light, and light is there inside you, that means you have enough infinite strength hidden in each one of you. So ethics will teach you to be courageous. Ethics should teach you how you will lead to success. It is not a small topic. It is a very important topic, very important concept. And I congratulate Professor Mishra that at the fag end of his professional career, he has brought out this book. Unfortunately, the UGC says if you publish in Scopus journal, you get higher score mark. If you publish a textbook, you get only 5. No, there is something wrong in UGC thinking. And even NEP do not give as much respect to ethics as it should have been given. Because in the entire whole world, there is crisis. You go to London, there is ethical discrimination, racial discrimination. You go to America, there is gun culture. You see India, what is happening throughout the country. So while we have reached the peak towards science, technology, and artificial intelligence, ethics is declining. Morality is declining. There is no harmony, there is no peace, there is no happiness. And I therefore request Professor Mishra, even after retirement, continue to promote this concept of happiness in whatever manner it is possible for you to do it. With these few words, I again thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all.
So this is the moment we all have been waiting for. Principal sir will be joining us soon. I now request our chief guest, Dorji Dadum sir, Padi sir, Chaudhary sir, Madhubhatta ma'am, Gautam sir, Meena ma'am, Mishra sir, to please come up on the stage, and we'll soon have the book release. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here. We have some light refreshments for all of you outside the auditorium. Please proceed for having the refreshments. Thank you once again for joining us today. Thank you.